Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you are doing great. Let's go through chat with website. Some of the users asked me to create the video related to this topic because they want to have the conversation with the particular website. And also there was some question related to how to make the storage persistent for the Chroma DB, because I was using the in-memory storage and the retrieval was done out of it. So I have combined both of these together. So we'll be going through chat with website where you can just input your website URL and have the conversation with that particular website, as well as how to make the Chroma DB storage persistent, right? And if you want to go through this, the chat with documents, right, custom chatbots for documents, the process is almost the same here. You can refer to my earlier videos for the detailed process. But instead of PDF, here we will be processing the URL of the website. We extract the information out of it and split it into different chunks, and then embeddings will be done. It will be stored in the Chroma DB, and when we ask the question will be embedded. There will be a semantic search, and then with the help of large language model, and in this case we are using OpenAI, it will provide us the answer. So that is the process how it is going to be going, right? Yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I am on the GitHub repo of chat with website. All the instructions how you can clone the repository and steps to replicate, right? All the instructions are provided here. You can just follow step by step process, and then we can follow, right? I have already cloned this repository locally, and you can see there is the readme file. But if you want to view the preview more, you can go to the top corner here and click this open preview. So it will open in the good looking preview, right? So yeah, we are using the OpenAI model, LangChain and Streamlit, right? As I said before, first you need to follow this. Just go to this particular place here and copy this thing. I have already done this because I'm inside chat with website, right? And then you need to go to this OpenAI's website from this URL and get the OpenAI API key. And you need to copy the example.env to .env. There is this example.env. I have already copied this in the .env. Example.env looks like this. You need to replace your key here in the .env, right? So after that step, you need to create a virtual environment. You need to have at least Python 3.9 or later installed. Earlier version might work, but I haven't tested, so better to have Python version 3.9 or later. And then you can create a virtual environment. I have already created the virtual environment and installed all the necessary packages from requirements.txt. So if you click here, there are all the necessary packages that needs to be installed. And after that, we can run the Python file. But before running the Python file, I will show you or walk you through the Python file, right? Let me go here. So these things are normal. You already know that, importing the necessary modules. And then we load the environment variables. And here is how we can provide the OpenAI API key. We get that from the .env, right? And now we have the main function. So these are the normal things that we need to provide just to make the title and the subheader in Streamlit. And there is the URL, right? We have st.text input, then insert the website URL. And there is the prompt. So st.text input, ask a question. This is what you will just see when I run the app. And if st.button submit query, what happens is we first get the path, and there is the directory called db, right? So if you see here, it will create a directory in this particular folder once we run this particular app, right? Why this is done is because we want to store somewhere and get the retrieval out of it, right? And the load data from the specified URL. So we get the web-based loader from LangChain here, where it is, yeah, here, web-based loader from the LangChain document loaders, and then we have the data and we load it, right? Loader.load the data, and we do the text splitting part. You can just play around with this whatever you want, right? This is what I have mentioned here. And then we have the docs text splitter dot split documents. We provide the data here, and then we have the docs, and we have the OpenAI embeddings, and we create a vector store now, right? Chroma, we use that. From documents, we provide the documents that we want to store in the vector store, and the embeddings is the OpenAI embeddings. persistent directory is the directory that we want that vector db to be stored, right? So we have here db folder and we provide that here, and we just say here vector db.persist. So when we do this particular step, the embeddings that is created from OpenAI embeddings will be stored in this particular vector db in the db folder that is going to be created in this particular root directory. We will see that later. And then we just do the retrieval. That is what we do, normal things. And yeah, we just gave the top 3, right? Similarity. And we provide the chat OpenAI model, and we are using GPT 3.5 Turbo. And there is the retrieval QA part. We just using the chain type stuff. Retrieval and LLM is LLM, as is mentioned here. You can just play around with this, whatever you want. And then the response is QA, right? This is the retrieval. We pass the prompt and then write the response. So that is all we need to do. After this is done, you need to save this if you make some modifications, right? And then you need to go to the terminal and then just write Streamlit run and the name of the file, right? Chat with websites.py. When we run this, first the embeddings will happen, and then the vector store will be created in the db folder here. So when I press enter here, it opens the localhost and chat with website. Input your website URL, ask questions, and receive answers directly from the website. So we can provide the URL here. But when we are providing the URL, if you go back to the VS Code, why the DB is not shown here? Because we haven't provided the URL, right? Now, if we go to the Chrome, and now I will just provide the website of the Streamlit. Control C. Now we go to the app, go to the place where we need to provide the URL and insert the URL, right? We have inserted the URL and we ask the question here. What is Streamlit, right? So once this is done, what happens? Now it says it's running, right? Now the DB folder will be created and the vector store is being done, and we already get the answer, right? What is Streamlit? Streamlit is an open source Python library that allows you to build interactive all the different things, and this information is captured from this particular website. So that is how it works. You can just try yourself, just to show you that it doesn't work if we provide some other information. What I can type here is I can say what is Chainlit, right? Let me submit. It shouldn't provide the answer for us because we are having the conversation with this particular website. It says here, I'm sorry, but I don't know, or I don't have any information about Chainlit. It may not be a well-known term or a product related to Streamlit, right? So that is how it works. And if we now go to the VS Code, now you can see here there is a DB folder being created, and we have the Parquet file, the Chroma embeddings and the Chroma collections. There is the index, and all the information is being stored here. So that is how we have now persisted the DB, right? What this is now if we run the question again, the embedding steps need not be done again, meaning that we are saving some cost here, because this OpenAI embeddings cost us some money, right, in order to run this API. So that is how we can reduce cost by storing the vector DB locally. Or if you want to store this somewhere in the cloud, you can use Pinecone and some other different things, but I'm just using ChromaDB to demonstrate how it works. Okay, so that's how it works. And if you want to cancel this, you can just type Control C in the terminal that we run the app. It will be stopped. And if you go back to the website, it says, okay, connection error, done, right? So what can be the next step for you? The next step can be, you can refer to my earlier videos where I have shown you how you can containerize the application with Docker, right? So you can containerize this application with Docker, and then you can deploy this to whatever place you want to do. I have explained you how to deploy this in Google Cloud platform, but that was the Chainlit application. It's the same process. But for this, it is the Streamlit app, right? So yeah, I hope you learned something new today. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.